Anime fans love overpowered protagonists. But what if I told you brains beat brawn every time? In today's list, we're diving into the top 10 anime with genius main characters. These are the strategists, manipulators, and 5D chess masters who'd beat Goku at math. Stick around till the end, because number 1, straight up legendary. High school prodigies have it easy even in another world. The name sounds like a parody light novel. And honestly, it kind of is. But the story takes wild genius to a new level. 7 high schoolers, all elite in their fields, crash into a medieval fantasy world. And instead of panicking like normal people, they immediately start modernizing the entire civilization. You've got a ninja turning into a god-tier assassin, a prime minister planning revolutions over breakfast, and a doctor performing surgeries with medieval tools like it's just another Tuesday. They bring electricity, democracy, capitalism. It's basically a full-on isekai speedrun to enlightenment. The contrast between their high IQ skills and the clueless fantasy villagers is both hilarious and awesome. It's like if Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and a ninja got dropped into Game of Thrones, and instead of dying, they started a startup. The Saga of Tanya the Evil. Tanya is a little blonde girl, possessed by the soul of a ruthless salaryman, and reincarnated into a war-torn magical world. I know, it sounds like someone pulled anime ideas out of a blender, but it works. Tanya is cold, calculating, and dangerously intelligent. She rises through the military ranks not just because of her magic skills, but because she plans battles like a war god with spreadsheets. She manipulates her superiors, tricks her enemies, and even trolls literal gods to get what she wants. Her tactical mind is so terrifying that armies tremble, and she's doing all of it while in a child's body with a sweet little voice. Imagine Napoleon, but smaller, meaner, and magical. Tanya doesn't just win, she dominates, and she enjoys it. Log Horizon, forget swords and dragons. This is an isekai that's all about strategy and politics. After thousands of players get stuck inside an MMORPG, one guy rises above the chaos. Shiro, aka the villain in glasses, isn't your typical hero. He doesn't charge into battle. Instead, he creates guild alliances, negotiates trade deals, and rewrites the rules of the game world. This man turns a stuck-in-a-game crisis into a working government. His power, pure intellect, and flawless long-term planning. While others are farming mobs, Shiro is forming supply chains and manipulating economies. It's like watching a nerdy accountant become king of a digital kingdom. No one swings a sword harder than this man swings a spreadsheet. The Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt. Prince Wine is a genius who just wants one thing: to sell his kingdom and retire. Unfortunately, he's too smart, and every time he tries to mess things up, he accidentally makes everything better. His half-hearted plans to sabotage negotiations or lose battles always backfire in the best way, turning into political victories and unexpected triumphs. He's not trying to succeed, he's actively trying to fail. But his intellect is so ridiculous that he ends up looking like a brilliant ruler. Watching him roll his eyes as people cheer his genius is hilarious. It's like trying to quit your job and getting promoted to CEO instead. If accidental world domination had a poster child, it's this man. Death Note. Yeah, we had to include it. Light Yagami is the OG anime genius/sociopath. Give this high schooler a magical notebook that kills people, and he turns into a self-proclaimed god of justice faster than you can say L. Light doesn't just kill, he plans, manipulates, and outsmarts entire police forces while juggling homework. Watching him and L go toe-to-toe is like watching two galaxy brains fight with monologues and facial expressions. Every move is a risk, every detail matters, and every episode makes you question your moral compass. Light Yagami is what happens when intellect meets arrogance, and the result? Pure brilliance with a side of megalomania. Moriarty, the Patriot. What if Sherlock Holmes wasn't the hero? Enter William James Moriarty, a criminal mastermind who uses his genius to tear down the corrupt British elite. He doesn't steal or cheat for fun. He orchestrates crimes to expose injustice and manipulate the system from the inside. Every episode feels like watching the anti-hero version of Death Note, but with top-tier fashion and British accents. Moriarty is charming, cold, and brilliant. A man who doesn't just commit crime, he designs it like art. And when Sherlock shows up, it becomes a beautiful duel of intellects with stakes way bigger than just solving mysteries. This one's for fans of morally grey masterminds who look good while being evil. Tomodachi Game. Ever wonder what would happen if your friend group got stuck in a psychological death game where betrayal is basically the rule? Tomodachi Game answers that, and then cranks the mind games to 11. Yuichi Katagiri looks like a nice guy, but don't be fooled. This man is a manipulative genius hiding under a friendly smile. He'll pretend to be clueless, then use your darkest secrets against you 3 moves later. He understands human psychology like it's his hobby, and watching him mentally break other players while keeping his own hands clean is both terrifying and deeply satisfying. If Light Yagami was a broke student with trust issues, you'd get Yuichi. No gods, no notebooks, just raw, unfiltered brain power. Classroom of the elite. Welcome to a school where the smartest students control everything, and your survival depends on how well you manipulate the people around you. This isn't your typical academic setting. It's more like Squid Game with homework. Enter Ayano Koji, a quiet, emotionless guy who purposely hides his insane intellect. While others are busy showing off or playing fair, Ayano Koji is out here orchestrating mind games behind the scenes, like he's running a psychological experiment. He doesn't just solve problems, he creates them for other people and watches them squirm. Watching him destroy his opponents without even breaking a sweat is the definition of satisfying. And the best part, no one even knows he's the one pulling the strings. This man could commit murder and get an A+ for social studies. Dr. Stone. After a mysterious light turns all of humanity to stone, Senku, a teenage science prodigy, wakes up thousands of years later in a world that's completely reverted to the Stone Age. Instead of panicking, he decides to rebuild civilization from the ground up using only science and his absurdly massive brain. His first goals? Revive humanity, recreate electricity, and maybe invent ramen while he's at it. As he gathers allies, including his muscle-headed best friend and even former enemies, Senku builds everything from medicine to communication systems. And every obstacle he faces, from violent rival kingdoms to harsh environments, is solved with logic and innovation. It's not just about surviving, it's about accelerating thousands of years of progress with one sarcastic genius leading the charge. Watching him solve world-ending problems with homemade tools. Honestly, more thrilling than most fight scenes. Code GS, Lelouch v Britannia, is what happens when a chess grandmaster gets access to mind control and a hatred for empires. Given the power to make anyone obey a single command, he starts a full-on revolution against the world's strongest empire. But he doesn't just rely on gears. He uses strategy, deception, and next-level political moves to lead an entire rebellion. Every battle is a carefully calculated masterpiece, and every loss, part of a bigger win. Lelouch doesn't just want to win the war, he wants to rewrite the rules of the game entirely. And that ending? Still one of the most talked about finales in anime history. If Genius had a cape and a mech, it'd look a lot like this guy. And that's our list of anime, where brains do all the heavy lifting. If you enjoyed watching geniuses outsmart the world, hit that like button, subscribe for more anime breakdowns, and let us know which genius anime character you'd never want to play chess with. Catch you in the next one.